What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Monday, November 13th, 2023, and I have an emergency update to share with you guys. Right now, it is 3:12 p.m. Eastern Time here in the United States. So, I have some major breaking news to share with you coming in from the Middle East. We have a Lebanese news company reporting that 4 American soldiers were killed last night in the attacks on U.S. military bases in eastern Syria. This was reported by a company called Al Mayadeen, and apparently, this was after the airstrikes that were launched by the U.S. So the U.S. launched more airstrikes last night, where apparently they killed several of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps commanders, and they also hit some weapons depots and other facilities. But if this is true, this is very, very concerning. I have no way of verifying this myself, so I just wanted to report this to you. I'm not saying that 4 American troops did, in fact, get killed last night by Iranian militias. I'm not saying that with 100% certainty. I'm just reporting to you what this Lebanese news company, Al Mayadeen, is reporting. Okay. So they're also reporting that this was the base near the Conoco oil field, and it was targeted with advanced Grad missiles, and that led to the killing of the 4 American soldiers. So, again, I'm not saying that this is 100% true. So, you decide, okay? But one thing I will tell you is that pretty much every base that the US has in Iraq and Syria has been attacked. Okay, here we have a picture showing the locations of most of the attacks since this war started. And here we have 52 attacks since October 17th. Okay, look at this, guys. This is insane. It seems like the bulk of the attacks have been in the Omar oil fields, the Conoco oil fields, and also the Erbil Air Base. That seems to be the area that gets hit a lot. Also, the Al Tanf base. But look at this, guys. You could take a screenshot with your phone or your computer if you want to save this for your personal reference. But this is just absolutely insane. Before I continue with the breaking news coming from Israel, I want to just share this video. This is coming from Iceland, the town of Grindavik, which is where there's been 25,000 earthquakes since late October, and there's thousands of earthquakes a day now under this town, and there's a huge magma chamber that could blow any day, and the Icelandic meteorological office is saying that a significant eruption is likely in the coming days. Okay. So this is very, very serious. We could have a huge volcanic eruption at the same time as Israel launches a preemptive strike on Hezbollah. We're seeing more and more Israeli politicians pushing for preemptive strikes on Hezbollah. And I think that's what's going to happen. And I think Israel wanted to wait until all U.S. forces were in the region before making their big move on Hezbollah. But I think Hezbollah is next after Hamas. And if they do go after Hezbollah, it's going to be much, much different than Gaza. It's going to be more intense. It's going to be more significant because Hezbollah has more troops, they have more missiles, and they have a larger territory to operate out of. They have all of Lebanon. And we heard some of the threats from the Israeli defense minister. He said over the weekend when he was visiting Israeli troops in northern Israel on the border with Lebanon, he said that what the Israeli military has done to Gaza City, they can easily do to Beirut. and he said that the Israeli Air Force has only used barely 10% of their power, their air power in Gaza. Barely 10% is what he said. And he said that the Israeli fighter jets are now facing northward, meaning that Israeli fighter jets are getting ready for missions into Beirut and Lebanon. So I'm going to continue to monitor the situation. If this volcano erupts and it's a very serious eruption, which I think it will be, I will go live 24/7. When Israel attacks Hezbollah, I will go live 24/7. And if there's any other escalations, like a preemptive attack on Iran by the US and Israel, which I think is coming. So make sure you're subscribed, hit the bell icon below this video so you get notified when I post these emergency updates and when I go live. But look at this video, guys. This is fresh video footage coming from Grindavik, ground zero. Okay, look at these massive cracks in the town. You can see the pavement just completely cracked, huge chasms opening up with steam coming out. Look at the steam coming out. This is insane. Look at that, guys. And in the latest update from the Icelandic Meteorological Office, they said 900 earthquakes since midnight last night UTC time. Okay, 900 earthquakes in not even 24 hours. Okay, midnight UTC time. So that's probably like 18 hours ago. All right, 18 hours, 900 earthquakes. That's just ridiculous. But if this volcano is really large and it ejects a lot of soot, it could cause global cooling for at least a short period of time. And we're heading into winter right now. So that's definitely not good timing for global cooling. Okay, in the mid 90s, when Mount Pinatubo erupted in the Philippines, it caused a drop in global temperatures by a few degrees centigrade, and that drop lasted for 6 months. Okay, that was Mount Pinatubo. You can look that up. It's well documented. It caused a drop in global temperatures for a few months. Okay, now Mount Pinatubo was a huge volcano with a very high volcanic explosivity, and it ejected a lot of ash into the sky. I don't know if this one will be like that, but it could. Okay, because Iceland is literally all volcanoes, and some of these volcanoes are really, really old, and they're just waiting to blow. So, the pressure's building up under this town, and it's just a matter of time before something serious happens. So, I want to get back to uh, the Middle East. So, a U.S. military official told Reuters that the U.S. forces in northeastern Syria were targeted in at least 4 separate attacks at 4 locations with armed drones and rockets in the past 24 hours. Okay, so more attacks, guys. They're continuing to attack our forces. And Iraqi militias say they achieved a direct hit on an American base in Syria. Okay, so it's getting more and more violent. Okay, these Iranian backed militias in Iraq and Syria are attacking our bases more and more. Okay, even after we launched these airstrikes, we launched airstrikes last night. Okay, and we took out several Iranian commanders. Okay, and we took out a safe house. We took out weapons and ammo storage, and then literally a few hours later, they attacked more of our bases. Okay, in northeastern Syria this time, they attacked 4 locations of ours. So they're not afraid of us. And what the Biden administration is doing is very minimal. Okay, we should just completely annihilate all these militias. Okay, we have the means to do it, but we're not for whatever reason. I have no idea. Maybe Biden is purposely allowing this to happen so he can look like the hero later on when he launches a massive preemptive strike on Iran. I have no idea, guys, but I really believe that there's going to be a massive preemptive strike on Iran, And I think Biden is going to be the one to go ahead with that. And the reason why is it's going to boost his popularity, and elections get suspended during time of war. And in general, wartime presidents usually get reelected anyway. It's something with the psychology, the psychological aspect. People don't want to change presidents when there's a serious event going on. But that would make Biden look like a real hero if he went into Iran and just completely obliterated the Iranian military and their nuclear program, especially after all these attacks on American bases. That would just completely shoot up his popularity, which has been really low, especially with the situation in Ukraine, where he's been giving all this money to Ukraine and all this equipment, and there's been very minimal results from that. So this could be a way for him to redeem himself. I don't know. That's just my theory. What you're looking at here is a video that was posted by the Iranian militias launching some rockets towards American bases last night. And apparently, the U.S. military base at the Algier airport in the suburbs of Hasaka in eastern Syria was targeted twice today by drones. And senior U.S. defense officials confirmed 6 to 7 Iranian proxy fighters were killed at one of the 2 locations struck by U.S. warplanes in eastern Syria last night. Apparently, an IRGC headquarters slash safe house was hit, and there were secondary explosions seen at another location, suggesting large weapons and ammo storage was hit also. So, pretty serious strike by the U.S. They targeted a safe house or headquarters, probably took out some commanders, but still it's not enough. They're going to continue to attack our bases. And Israeli media reported last night that a guided missile was launched from Lebanon towards a target in Western Galilee, and residents were ordered to shelter in place in Western and Upper Galilee. Israeli media is reporting 2 people are injured in Natawa as a result of an anti tank guided missile that was launched by Hezbollah. So the tensions between Lebanon and Israel are spiraling out of control. Hezbollah has really stepped up their attacks. They fired a lot of rockets and missiles at northern Israel the past 24 hours. And we know yesterday that the Israeli War Cabinet had an emergency meeting related to Lebanon, and they were going to make a decision as to what their next course of action is. But my guess is they're going to go after Hezbollah very, very soon. And Hezbollah has released an official statement about today's attack on a unit of the Israeli army, and they included a map that shows the location. But they said at 10:30 a.m. on Monday, they targeted an Israeli infantry force at the Al Dahira site with missiles, causing direct hits. All right, so some Israeli infantry were hit by Hezbollah missiles today. And so it's not looking good over there in northern Israel. The Israeli Air Force carried out some airstrikes in the area of Hula and Markaba in southern Lebanon on the border with Israel. And the Israeli army released images of its attacks on Hezbollah headquarters and weapons depots in southern Lebanon. Unfortunately, I can't share that footage here. NBC is reporting that a senior Hamas official said that Hezbollah will fully enter the war if Israel completely destroys Hamas in the Gaza Strip. Okay. And Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "We will respond to the shooting in the north with much stronger fire." And Israeli War Cabinet member Benny Gantz said, "I say to our enemies from the south and the north, your day has come." All right, so very, very strong words there from Benny Gantz and the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu. But the situation with Lebanon is not looking good. It looks like Israel's getting ready to go in. Here we have some satellite imagery showing the location of the USS Dwight Eisenhower, and it's right off the coast of Oman. So we have one carrier off the coast of Oman, and then we have one off the coast of Lebanon and Israel in the eastern Mediterranean. So, with these two aircraft carriers, the U.S. military has total coverage of the Middle East. And we also have the USS Florida, which is an Ohio class submarine, a nuclear armed, nuclear fueled submarine. Okay, this thing carries 154 Tomahawk missiles with nuclear warheads on them, and that thing is in the region right now. We have 24 F-15E Strike Eagles, which are nuclear strike fighter jets, okay, used for delivering nuclear weapons. We have B-1 bombers in Turkey at the Incirlik Air Base, which is where we also have our B-61 gravity nuclear bombs stored. So the U.S. has a lot of firepower. We have the most amount of warships in the Mediterranean since World War II, guys. Okay, and we do know that Biden is supposed to meet with Xi Jinping this week in San Francisco, and apparently one of the main topics for the meeting is going to be Iran and what to do with Iran, and they're going to discuss Iran. Okay, here we have some video footage coming out from southern Lebanon. These are the Israeli airstrikes or artillery strikes in southern Lebanon. You can see a massive plume of smoke here. Here's another video showing some more smoke in southern Lebanon. So the situation is escalating over there. Here we have some air raid sirens that were active in northern Israel earlier today. So Israel's in a full state of war, guys. They mobilized all of their reserves. They've never done that before. This is a very serious situation, what's going on over there. And we have some news coming out from Iraq that apparently some pro-Iranian militias entered eastern Syria from Iraq, and they have been deployed to the cities of Al-Mayadeen and Al-Bukamal, where they're reinforcing some of the existing Iranian-backed militias who are fighting against U.S.-backed Syrian democratic forces. So this is very interesting. It's like the U.S. and Iran both have their proxies in Syria, and they're battling right now in eastern Syria. And what's interesting is we also have all these attacks on U.S. bases occurring in eastern Syria. So it seems like that's the hot spot right now. Apparently, these militia members took up several military headquarters in the region. And in a meeting with Jordanian officials, Jordan's King Abdullah II rejected Israel's occupation of Gaza and denounced Israel's actions as not acceptable to any religion. And he called for a two-state solution with the reunification of Palestinian territory. And the Jordanian foreign minister, Safadi, said, "We will not go to war against Israel. Worse is coming in Gaza, with the Israeli government crossing all red lines. The results of the war on Gaza will be disastrous for the region and Israel as well." So Jordan is saying they're not going to go to war with Israel, but they're saying that Israel has crossed all red lines and it's going to be a disaster. The EU Foreign Policy Commissioner Joseph Borrell is demanding an immediate ceasefire and opening of humanitarian corridors. And Amir Ali Hajizadeh, the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps Aerospace Force, said the war has expanded and Lebanon is involved. And the commander of the Iranian Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps said that the war has expanded and Lebanon is involved. It is possible that the scope of the conflict will extend even further. Future is unclear, but Iran is ready for all conditions. So that's pretty concerning. And White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said U.S. President Joe Biden wants to restore military ties with China. So that's pretty concerning. And here we have some footage coming out of Iran showing a tunnel boring machine being moved by trucks. And this is very interesting that all of a sudden they would have these tunnel boring machines moving around. It looks like Iran is scrambling to build some more underground bases to hide all of their nuclear weapons and everything else, their missiles, before the U.S. launches a strike. But this is huge, guys. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, this thing is as big as a house, even bigger than a house. And here we have some video footage that was shared by the Israeli military, and it shows them launching their Arrow missiles, their missile interceptors, to intercept one of the Yemen ballistic missiles that they fired at Israel. And these missiles can actually take out satellites. They have a range of 1,500 miles. Absolutely insane. So Israel is literally intercepting ICBMs now. Okay, that's how serious this war has gotten. They're literally intercepting ICBMs. So let's watch this video here. So that's pretty crazy. And Russia is threatening Poland. The press secretary of the Kremlin, Dmitry Peskov, said that Poland's declaration that the Polish armed forces have transferred military personnel to the border with Belarus is a manifestation of aggressiveness, but Russia is already taking appropriate actions to protect the security of the Union state. And former British Prime Minister David Cameron has now been appointed the foreign minister, which is really weird. And here we have some video footage of pro Hamas protests going on in Turkey. Massive crowds of people in Turkey supporting Hamas. Very, very concerning. And we have a British politician that was dismissed by the Prime Minister of Britain, Rishi Sunak, because of this tweet. She called for basically stronger policing to protect Jewish people in Great Britain, and she got dismissed. She got fired, which is absolutely insane because she didn't really say anything bad here. So absolutely crazy times we're living in, guys, where right is wrong and wrong is right. And a U.S. Secret Service agent responsible for protecting Biden's granddaughter, Naomi Biden, reportedly fired a gun at unidentified individuals who were attempting to break into a government vehicle in Washington, D.C. Sunday night. In a statement obtained by Fox News, the Secret Service explained that the incident occurred at roughly 11:58 p.m. on Sunday in the Georgetown neighborhood. And according to information obtained by Fox News, Secret Service agents encountered 3 individuals attempting to break the window of a government vehicle that was parked in the area and was unoccupied. And apparently the parked vehicle belonged to the Secret Service. And we have some concerning information coming out of Cambodia. China is building up a base in Cambodia. And here we have some pictures from last year compared to this year. And you can see a huge difference. On the left is a picture from last year. On the right is a picture from this year. And you can see they already have this big dock extending out. So China is expanding their reach in the South China Sea. They're bullying the Philippines. They were surrounding Philippine vessels with their naval ships a few days ago. They're blockading Philippine ships. Okay. So things are really escalating around the world, guys. So make sure you're continuing to prepare. I will keep you guys updated on all these events. So stay tuned to my channel for continuing coverage. And I will be posting another update later on this evening. So take care. God bless. And don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. And this video is sponsored by NYPrepper Supply. Guys, we're living in very uncertain times, and you need to make sure your family has emergency food. When World War III starts, you're not going to be able to go to your grocery store to get food. Or when there's a power outage caused by natural disasters or cyber attacks. So you cannot rely on grocery stores to feed your family. You need to have emergency food. And NYPrepper Supply makes it very easy to prepare for these uncertain times. They have a 3-month emergency food supply, and it has a 25-year shelf life, and it's all contained within 6 rugged, water-resistant buckets, and you get a wide variety of food from dinners, lunches, breakfasts, drinks, snacks. So you're not going to get bored eating the same food every single day in a real SHTF situation. They also have a 2-week emergency food supply, which is a great option for camping. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the 3-month or 2-week emergency food supply from NYPrepper Supply. There's a link in the description below this video. It's an excellent gift idea for a prepper. They also have a general store. When you go to that page, you click on their logo, and once you click on their logo, it'll take you to their general store where they have MREs, solar generators, potassium iodide, survival seeds, a whole bunch of stuff, fire starters, water filters. All of these are excellent gift ideas for the prepper in your family. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get the 3-month and 2-week emergency food supplies. The link is in the description below this video.